breaking news, Ian Rappaport reporting, amongst others. Schefter had it as well, of course. An important decision for Sean Payton, handing over the play calling duties to the newly promoted offensive coordinator, Davis Webb. Sean Payton is a Super Bowl champion. This guy that's been calling plays for basically his entire NFL head coaching career, as far as I can remember. And after they lose in the AFC title game to the New England Patriots, with Jarrett Stidham playing the game and the blizzard that took place in the second half, apparently it didn't matter that it was Jarrett Stidham and not Bo Nix. Sean Payton felt like there needed to be some changes. They fired Joe Lombardi, who was the offense coordinator for the Denver Broncos, even though, again, it was Sean Payton's play calling. It was Sean Payton who you and I questioned of whether or not he should have taken that field goal in the second quarter to go up 10-0 before the inclement weather really started to become a factor. And it's now Sean Payton that is handing over the play calling duties to Davis Webb. So this says two things about me. Two things for me. One, obviously Sean Payton has a hell of a lot of belief in Davis Webb. He got a bunch of head coach interviews, got some other offense coordinator interviews, ultimately gets promoted. He's going to be calling the plays. That's got to show an incredible amount of faith and trust from Sean Payton. I also wonder if this is Sean Payton saying, hey, you know what? Maybe I should have kicked that field goal. Maybe my play calling wasn't good enough. This is a guy that's a Super Bowl champion. He doesn't have to defend himself to anybody. And he's willingly forking over the play calling duties to Davis Webb, who's only been out of the NFL. Remember, he was with the Giants for a couple of years, never really had a career as a quarterback. He's only been out of the league for a few years here. And Sean Payton's handing over the reins to Davis Webb. I find this stunning. I can't imagine why, other than that Sean Payton thinks Davis Webb is going to basically be a Clint Kubiak. He's going to be the next head coach in a year from now, because to do this after years and years of proven success as an offensive play caller, this is jaw-dropping to me, to say the least.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise to me as well. Sean Payton's a guy that exercises a general amount of hubris. He really thinks highly of himself. That's not me talking. It's a lot of people that cover that team that I've talked to on repeat. And a guy that believes that he is an excellent head coach. But this is a moment of humility. And bravo to you, Sean Payton, understanding your, shortcomings that you may have, bringing in a fresh mind, bringing in some fresh play calls, bringing in a brand new perspective that may be able to unlock this team that finished middle of the pack, Pat. They were number 15 in EPA per play offense. They got a young, offense, a lot of talented guys on that unit, of course, spearheaded there by Bo Nix. With Cortland Sutton. Obviously, the ground game underachieved with Harvey, and J.K. Dobbins was not healthy for a majority of the season as well. They're going to have to make some investments. Evan Ingram did not really live up to the Joker role. Had his moments, but they were few and far between the tight end position. That's probably an area of need they're going to invest in, whether in free agency or the NFL draft. But turning the page and realizing your own shortcomings is a major, laudable moment in my estimation for Sean Payton in handing over the keys to Webb as a result. So this could really unlock the true and full potential of the Broncos offense. But we're going to have to see whether investments, whether the draft or free agency they bring in to get to the promised land and where they really want to be, which is in the Super Bowl yet again.
Yeah, and I saw there was a clip out on Sean Payton today at the Combine saying that, what self-reflection led to him naming Davis Webb as Broncos play caller. He said it has to do with being, quote, unquote, quicker. And also went on to say, quote, it's only if there's someone that you feel like is good enough to do that. It's only if there is someone that you feel like it is good enough to do that. Also, asked him if Bo Nix was involved in the decision. No. Pretty flat answer there. No. I wonder if Bo Nix did have something to do with it. Let's not forget the tension that came out. That was, the big headline the week after they lost. Sean Payton disclosing Bo Nix's ankle surgery history and the injuries that he's had on his ankle. And Bo Nix was like, I honestly shouldn't be saying that stuff. I wonder what kind of tension was brewing underneath the surface there and what the relationship is like with Bo Nix and Sean Payton. I wonder if Bo Nix is trying to pull a little power move here. And if he loves Davis Webb and he's like, hey, this guy's, maybe he went right to George Payton, who have, funnily enough, different spelling, same pronunciation of last name as Sean Payton, the GM of the Broncos. I wonder if Bo Nix went to the GM and said, hey, we need somebody that's better at doing this. I know this guy's a Super Bowl champion. I think Davis Webb's better at it. I could be wrong. Sean Payton may just trying to maximize the plan here in the that's the word I'm looking for. Trying to maximize the operation here in Denver. Maybe he really does think that Davis Webb is a future head coach here in the span of the next year or two. But there's a lot of reason, I think, to maybe start putting on the tinfoil hat and having some conspiracy theories about this one in Denver. Because, again, Sean Payton giving up play calling, that to me is stunning. And our video producer, Monty, says in the chat, maybe Webb was promised play calling when he was hired / promoted. Maybe he would have had a head coaching job. Maybe he thought he could. Maybe Sean Payton was scared of losing him after he fired Joe Lombardi. And so he said, hey, you call the plays if you stay and be the offensive coordinator. I think there is definitely a lot more than what's on the surface right now in Denver with Sean Payton giving up play calling.
Yeah, we're going to get one of our Broncos insiders on and really unpack this and see what their theories are. It's really interesting going back to that quote with him, trying to go to somebody that could think quicker, essentially on their feet. Sean Payton isn't exactly the youngest guy that's out there. Maybe he felt that he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer anymore. And given those duties to Webb, who could think instantaneously with the right call in the right moment, could really, springboard this team overall. Maybe that was the motivation to hand over the play calling duties and the keys to Webb in the end. Well, time's going to tell. This will play out next season. I still like this Broncos team. I like a lot of their key pieces. They just got to make the right investments and really unlock the full potential of this offense. And we're going to see schematically there are similarities what Payton was running with Webb now at the controls of running the show. So a lot to be determined, and we will dig in and find out more as the offseason unfolds in its own right.